For those of you with an 07 to 13 Toyota Tundra, I have finally got one of the first sets of Morimoto XB LED headlights for these trucks. We're going to get these things installed. I'm going to show you just how much better they are compared to stock. The first step in getting these headlights installed is removing the old ones. Go ahead and pop the hood. And these trucks come apart pretty easily. You can do this with basic hand tools at home, in your driveway, nothing really to it. First thing we're gonna do is remove these plastic push clips here. You can use a flat pry tool like this screwdriver to get in the center piece like this. Pop it out toward you. Now, these trucks have been out for a little while now, and some of this plastic gets a little brittle, so if it starts to kind of break apart, it is what it is. With these plastic pins removed, you can remove this lower painted plastic piece here. Now, if your truck hasn't been taken apart before, it might put up a little bit of a fight, so you can use a flat pry tool in between the fender and the plastic piece and just pry it toward you like that. There's two pins on this side, one on the top, one on the bottom. With that removed, set it off to the side. Now we've got three 10mm bolts we can remove. There's two on top. There's one coming in from the side right here. Pull the headlight out toward you, and there's a couple connectors on the back you'll have to disconnect. Go ahead and press in on the tab. Most of these connectors come off the exact same way. You just press in on a plastic tab, wiggle them back and forth, and they will come off. Go ahead and set your headlight off to the side. Now, before we get our new headlights installed, there's one thing we need to do first. We need to install this fuse tap harness to power our DRLs properly. It's super easy to do, and I'll show you guys exactly how to do it. Go ahead and remove the lid to your fuse box. The fuse we're going to be removing today is this 10 amp fuse right here. You can remove it with the pliers like this. Set it off to the side. Your fuse tap harness is going to look like this, and it installs in that same slot you just removed that fuse from. Just like that. Go ahead and reinstall your fuse box lid now. You can run the wire right alongside the edge of the fuse box. The lid will close over it just fine. Now, this is my favorite part of installing these headlights, is seeing exactly how cool they look compared to the stock ones. As you can see, we've got a completely blacked out look. It's going to completely modernize how this truck looks and give it that new 14 and up Toyota Tundra styling on a 07 to 13 Tundra. Now, one of my favorite features on these headlights is that harness we just ran. It powers up this DRL, and this bright white DRL gives these things that modern look that other trucks on the road have right from the factory. It really dresses the truck up, and we really like it. The low beam is significantly brighter than stock, and the high beam is awfully punchy as well. In just a second, I'm going to show you guys that on the wall. Once again, back to that blacked out look. If you're looking to completely modernize your Toyota Tundra, this is an excellent way to do it. When it comes to the turn signal, you can have two different functions. You can have a sequential scrolling style turn signal, or you can have an instant on, instant off. A lot of people like the sequential, but if you don't like the sequential, you can simply leave this plug plugged in. If you want it sequential, you can unplug it just like this, and you'll get that cool scrolling effect that modern vehicles have. Totally up to you, and since the truck's pretty easy to take apart, you can change it at any time. Now, installing this is almost exactly the opposite of taking the old headlight out. You just plug these wires back in, connect your DRL harness, and reattach all your hardware. Now, one thing that could be easy to mix up is these two plugs here. This is an H11 plug. This is your low beam plug. You'll see these two little outside pins right here. You'll want to make sure this goes to your factory low beam connector just like this. Go ahead and connect your marker light. Go ahead and connect your high beam. Everything really snaps together well with these Morimoto connectors. I really like how they do that. It feels like a part that you could have gotten from the factory. Here's our DRL harness. Here's our factory turn signal plug. These two connectors here are for that sequential versus non-sequential turn signal. Lastly, connect the power motor plug. Now you can reinstall the headlight. Now, as you can see, this light fits as good as, if not better than, the factory headlight fit. So I'm gonna get the screws put back in. I'm gonna run through the passenger side quick. We'll get the truck turned around, point it at our studio wall, and we'll see just how much better these are compared to stock. We've got our Tundra pulled in the studio now, and the first thing we're going to do is take a lux measurement of the factory low beam bulbs. Now, lux is the most usable form of light measurement. It is the most accurate way to tell exactly how bright, or in this case, how dim a particular light source is. These factory Tundra low beams came in at 210 maximum lux. That's not a very big number. 210 is definitely not something you want to be driving around with at night. Let's see what our XB LED low beam looks like. Now, there are two major differences you can tell right off the bat between the XB LED headlights and the factory low beams. The XB LED headlights came in at 670 maximum lux, almost 3 times brighter than stock, and as you can see, we got a nice clean white light output, and we've got a clean cutoff line going from left to right. We're not going to have any crazy glare that's going to blind oncoming traffic. This is an awesome, awesome looking low beam. Let's head on over to high beam and see how that does. Now, the factory high beam on this truck actually looks pretty good. It definitely brightens up exactly where you'd want it to, and I'm hoping the XB LED high beams imitate this just a little bit brighter. The factory high beam came in at 620 maximum lux. Let's see what the XB LED high beam can do. Here we have the XB LED high beam from Morimoto, and this came in at 1640 maximum lux, almost 3 times brighter than stock. And as you can see, we've got a lot of light dead center in front of the vehicle, and we've got a lot of flood left and right. This is going to be an awesome, awesome high beam for your driving experience at night. What an awesome upgrade for your 07 to 13 Tundra. Now, since we've got this truck in the studio today, we're going to be running through the entire thing front to back, making sure to upgrade every single bulb. We're going to be updating every video we've ever done on this thing. So if you've got a Tundra like this one, please be sure to subscribe. We got a ton of videos coming out, and I'd love for you to see them. Thanks for watching.